Hi, Marcia Grace here. As always, it's Friday at 1 o'clock here on Facebook. And I am your modern meditation mentor here today to ask you if you are feeling stressed because you've been ghosted recently. I was, and it's not a pleasant feeling. As business people, we work with many other people, right? We work with clients and customers and colleagues, affiliates, coaches, tech people, all kinds of people, right? And so there's a lot of interaction going on and a lot of opportunity for things to go south. Hopefully not, but this is life here on planet Earth. It does happen. So how do you feel when one of these associates of yours ghosts you? Put some comments, add comments if that's happened to you. I'd love to know. I know I feel a mix of emotions. I'm disappointed, I'm confused, angry, frustrated, and then even some self-doubt comes up because, like, why aren't they talking to me? And if you have those feelings, just say something in the comment. That would be great. So what do we do? What can we do when someone ghosts us? So what I've realized, and from my experience, these are some of the things that I've done that I'll share with you. It's kind of an order that you take to accomplish this, for the most part, but we'll talk about that. So, all right, the first thing is to access the severity of this ghosting. In other words, what are the consequences of this person not talking to you? If it's a partner or a close associate, that could really be a serious problem. So that's the first thing. Just kind of assess the situation and see what could possibly be the outcome of that experience. Then, of course, the first thing you're going to do. First thing, for someone haven't heard from someone in a while, maybe you sent them an email or you texted them or something, didn't get a response. And time's gone by and you're wondering what's going on. So, of course, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to just reach out again and mention the status of the situation, whatever, perhaps there's something you were working on together or what have you, just mention what that is. And that you would love an update, where are they at, what's going on. So that would be the first thing. You're cool, you're calm, you're not, putting blame anywhere. You're just asking a question, right? Okay, so you do that. Well, if you don't get an answer in a, timely fashion, try a different means of communication. Maybe their email is down. I had a situation where for months my email wasn't working right and I lost business. I lost contact with people. It was terrible. So, just try a different method. If you email, then send them a text or a DM or whatever, call them up on the phone. I think that's always the best. But, find a different way to reach out. And then again, wait a little bit and see what happens. And again, if you don't, get an answer, first thing is don't make assumptions. In the 4 Agreements, if you've ever read that book, it's a wonderful book to read. Wonderful, wonderful. I suggest it. One of the agreements is make no assumptions. And that is so cool because oftentimes we make assumptions and we think someone doesn't like us, or we think we did something wrong, or we think, it's usually something addressed to ourselves, that we're at fault somehow, because we always tend to blame ourselves. I think that's very common. However, you might be blaming them. You might think, well, what kind of people are these? And maybe they're not as nice as I thought they were. Who knows? So either way, don't assume. Okay, don't assume. When you catch yourself, I mean, you're going to, most likely, that's the first thing we're going to do. But, catch yourself doing that and just kind of bring yourself up because you want to not do that because you could be completely wrong, obviously. And I know I often have been. So take it from me. We don't always get it right. So another thing to do at that point, if you haven't heard from them, is to reach out to maybe a mutual friend or contact that you have with this person, and find out, are they okay? Did something happen to them? Maybe they're sick. Maybe they're, I don't know. Could be any depressed. Who knows? They could be a million things that are causing this lack of communication that have nothing to do with you personally, or with your relationship. So again, always do that first. See if you can find someone who has some information that you trust, that can tell you. Okay, so and in the meantime you're waiting, right? Because you've emailed again or you've texted or whatever. Set a deadline for a response, because you can't wait forever, right? I mean, things have to get done, especially if this is someone you're working closely with, for sure. So set a deadline, and then while you're waiting, seek alternatives. Start thinking about, well, if this is not going to work out, if this person is just, for whatever reason, not willing to work with me anymore, I need to find somebody else. And so that would be a good idea to start, doing a little research, or talking to some other people who might have a handle on who you could go to as an alternative. Okay, so, and make sure that you keep a record of every type of communication and every occurrence of communication that you tried that didn't work, that hasn't produced results. Make sure you've got a record of all of those things. And then if the deadline isn't reached, well, I guess it's time to throw up your hands and say the relationship is just not working. It doesn't, I'm sad, I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, I'm all of those things. But it's time to move on. As a business owner, or you're working in a business, you know that you can't wait forever for some things. You just have to move on and get on with business. So that's what you have to do. And lastly, what you must do, and this is very important, because every situation, and I'm big on this, is about self-reflection. So you need to learn from the experience by going inside of yourself and trying to understand what did I do maybe that might have initiated this response or lack of from this associate. What could I do differently, or how could I handle myself differently with my business friends and so forth, that would prevent this from happening again. And that's hard work. I know that. I know it's not easy, but you know what? It's well worth the effort, because when you recognize that you're not perfect, nobody else is, you're not perfect either, that we make mistakes, we don't get things right necessarily, then we grow. We can grow from that experience, because then we could say, oh, I need to do this differently. And of course, I always say, go within, go to your inner source and find guidance, get your guidance, as to what to do. But ultimately, that self-reflection is going to give you great leaps of progress in your own personal and professional life. So that's it. Those are my tips for what you do when you've been ghosted, and how you can handle the situation. So if you found this helpful, please reply in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about being ghosted, or maybe your story. you may want to come on and share that story with me sometime and talk about how you handle it. That would be great. All right, so remember, everything begins with a thought. So please notice your thoughts. Don't push them aside. Don't pretend like they're not there or minimize them. Just notice them and let go of the ones that are causing you stress. We don't want stress, right? We don't need stress. No. Life is complicated enough. We need peace and joy, right? Okay, so have a beautiful Friday and a beautiful week ahead. Until next time, many blessings. Bye-bye.